The special session to finalize Oklahoma's congressional and legislative maps for the next 10 years is wrapped up. And as expected, there were no real surprises. We have team coverage, beginning with eCapital News Director Sean Ashley.
Well, legislative leaders hope to knock out the work of the special session in 5 days, which is the minimum amount of time necessary for a bill to pass both chambers of the legislature. On the first day, November 15th, that will be a first reading day. Bills have to be read 3 times in each chamber before there is a final vote. So on the first day of the special session, they can take no action. They'll gavel in and gavel out in both the House and the Senate. On the second day, November 16th, the bills will be second read, and then they'll be heard in the redistricting committees, the Senate bills in the Senate, the House bills in the House. And then on Wednesday, the House will vote on the House bills, and the Senate will vote on the Senate bills. And if those bills pass, they will switch chambers and automatically be first read. That means on Thursday of the special session week, the bills will be second read, and then the House bills will be heard in the Senate committee, and the Senate bills will be heard in the House committee. If they're passed by the committees, the House bills will then go to the Senate floor on Friday, and the Senate bills will go to the House floor on Friday. And if everything works out as legislative leaders have planned, they will have passed both houses and can then go to the governor for his signature.
And that's exactly what happened. Again, no major surprises, but there was plenty of back and forth and give and take between Democrats and Republicans. Kennedy Sepulvado reports on how the process played out in the state Senate this week.
The delay in numbers from the U.S. Census Bureau created a need for this year's special session.
Federal law requires that the Census Bureau would have given us the data by April 1st. Had they followed the law that was in existence, we would have had all this completed at the end of session last year. Because we didn't get the actual data until August, middle of August, is why we're back here today.
On the agenda, a handful of bills which will set voter districts for the next decade.
So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bills to go through.
While the Republicans had the supermajority in both chambers, the Democrats wanted their ideas for redistricting to be heard, especially in the 5th Congressional District.
So we put together what is 6X, which is before you now. This keeps 93% of Oklahomans in their current congressional district. Oklahoma City and Tulsa areas, each will get their own district. Rural areas will be free from any city influence.
The Democrats feel the congressional district maps proposed by the Republican majority separates distinct Oklahoma City urban communities and pairs them with rural communities in which they have little in common.
The proposed map that we see for District 5 is literally cutting neighborhoods in half. So there may not be a rural component to our proposed district map, but there's the compactness component, and there's keeping communities together.
Floyd contends the Democrats' congressional district maps keeps military bases together while keeping like communities under the same representation in Congress.
Our map keeps Tinker, Air Force Base, and Fort Sill together in CD4, maintains both of those together. This was requested by many members of the public. Every county, or nearly every county, will be kept whole. And there will not be an unnecessary divide with any racial or ethnic communities.
Republicans in the Senate Redistricting Committee questioned the Democrats' proposed map.
Your goal of keeping Oklahoma County as whole as possible, just splitting it less, why is that goal superior to the goal of keeping Cleveland County and Seminole County whole?
I don't consider either one of them more important or less important. I think that the map that we are proposing keeps 93% of Oklahomans in their current congressional district. I think that's a better plan for the state.
The Senate Redistricting Committee voted 11-3 against the Democrats' proposed map. The Senate bills that did pass the committee then went to the Senate floor for a vote the next day. Those 4 bills outline changes to the voting districts on county, state, and congressional levels to align with the latest census figures.
Because there was no way for people to anticipate where those lines would actually fall after we got the actual census data in August, and these updated maps have been published until today, or until the end of this week. If the governor signs this, no one knows exactly where those lines are going to fall.
Senate Bill 1X states the new district lines will take effect on the 15th day after the general election in November 2022. Senate Bills 1X, 2X, and 5X all pushed back the registration and residency requirement deadlines to accommodate the late census figures and redistricting.
Current statute says that it's a 6-month residency requirement. We're just, for this one time, we're moving that, which in this case happens to be October 12th of 2021, which would make it impossible to people to know where these lines were going to fall on October 12th. We're moving that to December 31st, 2021, one time only. That would take care of all 2022 elections.
Senate Bill 4X allows for election boards to begin conducting races based on the new district maps after April 5th, 2022.
So, for example, right now there's 3 special elections in the state of Oklahoma for county commissioner. Those elections are being held in February and in April. And the actual date is April 5th is when those elections are being ran, and in February. Those races are being ran on the current lines, the lines that have been here since 2010. So this clarifies that once those elections are over, any elections after that point those races are ran, and the votes will be cast based upon the lines that are adopted this week in special session.
All 4 bills passed on the Senate floor and were sent to the House. At the end of the week, the Senate considered the House version of the redistricting bills and moved them to the governor's desk. Kennedy Sepulvado, the Oklahoma News Report.
Kennedy, thank you. And we want to welcome Kennedy to our Oklahoma News Report staff. She's going to be a great addition.